The leaves are starting to turn outside. The weather is getting a little bit colder. I am on hot coffee for the first time in months, which must mean that we are fully into autumn, and also means that NaNoWriMo is just around the corner again. For anyone who's new to the AuthorTube or the writing sphere, NaNoWriMo is a challenge where you try and write 50,000 words in the month of November, which is a lot closer than I'd currently like it to be. So I thought what I'd do is a quick little video to run down my plans for NaNoWriMo, my plans for what some people refer to as Preptober, which is the month before November, trying to get ready for the NaNoWriMo madness. If you've been on my channel before, you'll know that I'm writing a series currently called Space Pirates. This is the working title. I need a new name. I have written first or zero draft versions of all of them, and now I am taking a little bit of a break from it, and in November I'm going to write a new draft of a kind of standalone book. I wrote the original standalone book, I want to say, and I will fact check this, and editing Nikki will tell me if I'm wrong, because I no doubt will be wrong. I want to say 2017, and then the year after NaNoWriMo I did what I did as like a sequel of the book. In December of last year I reread through both of them and made a load of notes of it, and I think I thought about this before I was reading through, but while I was reading through I was thinking about how I might be able to take this book and put it into my Space Pirates world, because I'm very aware of that if I would like to traditionally publish this series, most people don't want to buy a series from a debut author, and it's also quite a long series at the moment. Alternatively, if I can write a standalone in the world, if I sell that, then it's more like a foot in the door, and I might be more likely to be able to sell a couple of standalones and then move on to the series. In terms of Preptober, it is currently the 9th, and I have done absolutely nothing. After Milwordy, September was definitely a rest month. I did a couple of bits and pieces, but really nothing. I had a couple of potential realisations, and I had a little bit of a play around with the magic system. So what I'm thinking with this draft is I could go through, make sure that I'm happy with the way the story is laid out for this particular book, but also I can play around with that magic system and see if it fits in. So it is currently the 9th of October, and I have done no preparation whatsoever. My hope was to get a rough outline together by the end of the month. I'm going to try and keep going with that, but we'll see what happens because I've done nothing. I do have a lot of notes from when I reread through it in December, so I'm hoping that with some time and maybe some caffeine at some point this month, I might be able to sit down and really work my way through that. This weekend we've got a couple of things on. I think next weekend we've got something on. The weekend after that though is the Worldwide Write-a-thon. I am really hoping, despite my last 2 attempts at the Worldwide Write-a-thon, that I might really be able to outline anything that's still outstanding in that weekend. I am also going to be on a sprint. I have never done this before. I have no idea how it works. I am frantically researching StreamYard in the hopes that I won't look like an idiot trying to log in. I will put the information about times and things down below. I'm actually going to be more involved this year with the Worldwide Write-a-thon, which will be really interesting. And I want to spend some time in the chats talking to people, but I also want to get a lot of this outline done. So whatever I can't get done this weekend or next weekend will fall on the Worldwide Write-a-thon, putting all the pressure on that one weekend. And then the first week of November, I have booked off from work. In traditional me fashion, I have booked off my 9 to 5 time to do writing rather than resting. So we'll see how this goes. I will try and get at least a day's rest in there, but what I'm thinking is I might be able to front load the month. I did this last year, but mainly because in November last year I changed my job. It was more a necessity, whereas this year I'm booking it off to deliberately get ahead of myself. I'm not going to set myself anything crazy because my brain has already considered what I could do if I could write it all in that first week. And it's not going to happen. And I need to stop telling myself that it's possible, because yes, it is possible theoretically, but not by me right now. And I'm also very out of the drafting habit. Most years I will have drafted a book fairly close to November. Usually I would have drafted something over the summer, and I haven't drafted since April, maybe May. So I feel like I'm out of the habit, which is also not helpful. So I feel like this outlining is going to be important. I'm also thinking this book might be quite different to a lot of the books I've drafted recently. My Space Pirate series is all third person, but what I'm thinking with this book is I might I might do multi-POV first person. I haven't written a first person book in a long time. I'm not sure I'm not going to know how to do it. But essentially, to give a little bit of context, hopefully without giving spoilers, I have two characters who are, by happenstance, forced together and are kind of on the run / hiding from wider groups of people. I have not got any closer to really defining what this version of this book is going to be because of all the changes to the world, but that's kind of the idea. So I was thinking about making it multi-POV and switching between the two. I'm going to need to either start the book a lot earlier than the previous drafts or incorporate some kind of flashback, because I'm also taking the first book and the sequel I wrote and kind of smashing them together. It wasn't technically a sequel, was it? It was a prequel I did, I think. I need to go back through my notes. I think it was a prequel to the book. So I'm kind of smashing it both together. I feel like November might be a lot of hoping for the best. I think it was a couple of years ago, I wrote myself little letters to do at different points in the month. And I found those the other day, so I think I might have those nearby. They're kind of little mini pep talks. I know you get a lot of them on the NaNoWriMo website, but these are kind of specialised to me. So after I won one year, I made a point to write out a couple of things that I'd struggled with, and then the year after I wrote these little pep talks to myself. So I've got specific ones for the week, and then I think I had some that were specific for when I'm feeling certain things or if I get a bit of writer's block or anything like that. To summarise, the plan is outline it as much as I can this month. Starting the first week of November, try and smash through as many words as possible and really front load the month, and then hopefully win by the end of November and get the 50,000. I'm thinking this book might be longer than that if I am doing a multi-POV with some flashbacky situations happening. So anything I can't finish in November will become December's work, and then we're going to get back on the Space Pirates train. And basically the plan from that point forward will be alternating between this book and the first book in the Space Pirates series to get both of them up to a decent standard and give myself a break from each of them each time. So if I do a draft of this standalone now and then go into Space Pirates 1 for a bit, when I come back to standalone I will have had a rest from it. That is a plan. How well the plan will go is yet to be seen. But it is the plan. Let me know down in the comments if you're doing NaNoWriMo, if you've got a plan for Preptober or NaNoWriMo. I've seen quite a few people online starting early this year. Also let me know if you are doing a traditional NaNoWriMo, which means that you're doing a first draft of a book you've never drafted before. If you're kind of rebelling like me, where it's a full first draft of something, but I have drafted it before, or if you're going true rebel and taking a book that you've maybe on your second or third draft and editing through. Because even though technically, in the traditional sense, this is supposed to be a drafting month, I know a lot of people have their own schedules for things and sometimes they like to participate slightly in NaNoWriMo, but they kind of do something slightly different. Let me know what's going on with you. In terms of videos for the channel, I am going to potentially commit to weekly vlogs. I tried this before and some weeks it went beautifully and some weeks it was horrendous. Last time I did proper weekly NaNoWriMo vlogs was before I had a second YouTube channel. We shall see if I manage this. Even if I don't get weekly vlogs out, my plan is for there to be a video a week at least. Hopefully, if I can do the weekly vlogs, there'll also be a second video each week, which will be a little timer. I have started uploading timer videos, and I think during NaNoWriMo it will be even more helpful for myself, if nobody else. So I'm going to put some more videos coming out. That is the plan both for my writing and for the channel. Again, let me know in the comments what your plan is. If you've also got an AuthorTube channel, I would be very intrigued if you've got any tips on how to balance the video creation and actually doing the thing, because I feel like I really struggled last year. It's going to be a very strange month. As always, thank you so much for watching. I've been Nikki Starr and I'll see you in the next one.